2017 is a transition period. By 2020, Google predicts 90% of internet consumption, first of all, will be video. So if you're not in the edutainment game with being able to make valuable, inimitable, rare kind of videos that make people laugh, that make people feel entertained, you're gonna get blown out of the water. Somebody's gonna come for Geico, they're gonna come for Coca-Cola. You'll see. Here's the deal. You can be very successful at a young age if you follow a few formulas. One of them is, you only learn from mistakes, but they don't have to be yours.
He doesn't really need an introduction because you see him every day on your YouTube feed. So there's not a whole lot else I can say other than let's put your hands together for Tai Lopez.
This right here is one of the things that I'll share with you. Edutainment is going to blow everything out of the water. So that formula right there, some scientists found, it's called VRIN. V-R-I-N. Every single day, and this is relatively proprietary, so David said make sure you give people actual valuable stuff because a lot of you are super smart. I'm sure a lot of you are smarter than me. This is actually something very smart, and I didn't come up with it. So look, I'll explain it, and I'll explain how you can use it practically. So the V, there you go, there's the formula. V stands for value, R stands for rarity, I stands for inimitability, and N stands for non-substitution. So when I see people, because everybody's going online, we all know this, everybody. You have to know who you should be afraid of. I'm afraid of mostly people who understand this. The V in value generally is things that release dopamine. Here's what doesn't release dopamine. I'm going to show you how to get another job. People don't associate any kind of work with high dopamine. Now you see internet marketers showing cash amounts, how to make $17,000 working 2 hours. That releases some dopamine, but not a lot. Dan Bilzerian on a 1 to 10, with all the boobs and all the bazookas, is releasing 100 units of dopamine, and most people, internet marketers' headlines, release 10 units of dopamine. You're always going to lose. Now this, if you move here to rarity, rare, you got to think about this. Rarity, inimitability, and non-substitution are somewhat complex, and they're somewhat similar. So here's what rarity means. Why did Kobe Bryant make $250,000 per basketball game, and the average school teacher doing something that's more valuable to society make $50,000 on average? He made more than them throwing a ball through a hoop in 10 minutes. What's more rare, a school teacher or a 6'6" guy who can throw a basketball through a hoop while a bunch of tall guys try to stop him? So rare, make sure in your marketing you're doing something that's rare. Dan Bilzerian has 40 girls and he shoots a rocket launcher at a truck. I don't know many people that do that. It's rare. Now, inimitability is an interesting one because inimitability means how easy is it to copy? And if you look at people who make the most money, last year was a very interesting year because I got to spend a decent amount of time talking to Elon Musk one-on-one. Who here could do what Elon Musk did? Who here? He's the only man alive right now to start 3 companies valued at $1 billion simultaneously. It's very inimitable. Another way to think about the I in inimitability, imitation. So I remember, I have a friend, he's one of the top Silicon Valley guys, and he was at my house in LA, and he says to me, he says, Tai, we should start a business together. And we brainstorm a concept. And then I said, man, that's kind of hard. And he said, then we should definitely do that thing. Do the hard thing. Elon Musk says this, one of my favorite sayings, you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. And that still holds true. If you want to grow your social media, if you want to increase conversion rate, inimitability, you have to go to do something that not many people can do. This last one, non-substitution. This one's an interesting one. The question is, who here's read 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal? He says, the best business to go in is one with zero competition. That's one of the central parts of the book. I see a lot of us going into businesses that other people are doing, and this violates the non-substitution rule. One of the things that I've been lucky to be able to do is very few people are doing what I'm doing. No idea why, but there's no substitute. Some people hate me, but the people who like me can't, even if they don't really like me, they can't find anybody else like me, so they follow me. So you have to do the same thing. Let me talk real quick on one thing. My predictions for the next 18 months. Edutainment will beat all. You should see the number. I told you, nobody's broken Google Analytics except an 18-year-old girl. Here's the deal. I do not believe in the grinded out school. I did too much grinding. Well, if I could go back in time, I would wait. Here's what I would do. In a dating relationship, if you're in therapy in the first fucking month, I know people go to therapy in the first 3 months of a relationship. You're grinding out a relationship, kill it. That thing's dead. If you launch a business and it's not working that well, start another one. I think now some people will say you give up too early. No, I know that. I factored that into that sentence. In general, there are some people who will be too flaky and move from business to business. It's not my experience that it's most people. Most people marry the wrong person, go to the wrong college, live in the wrong city, have the wrong set of friends. They make every mistake. So I think if it's not badass, kill it. Live a life that's a 9 or a 10.